Hey, this is Sensibility Speaks. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All right, y'all, it is about that time. Let's sip some sensibility, shall we? Honey, honey, honey. So at this juncture, I'm sure that everyone has heard about Miss Belinda Sanders, Martel's alleged girlfriend down in Atlanta. She's a realtor, and that she's been on a show. She was at the relaunch that Destiny had at Madani, running behind Martel during that whole fight debacle, right? Let me see. I said in another video that I actually saw her in the background when Marcel was down in Atlanta, when he had claimed that somebody had stole his truck or broke into his truck or whatever. He appeared to have a booth at some type of conference, convention, expo, or whatever. She was in the background, right? As I said before in the other video, hell, I thought she was messing with Marcel. But anyway, remember when Martel and all the guys a season or two ago, they were down in Atlanta when he was doing the big launch for the Inez wine. She was there. Also, when Martel called his ass being some type of cook or whatever, how he was looking to go to Atlanta and cook for somebody, and he just happened to choose her child. Anyway, I guess that's his girlfriend. Now, even further, going down to the Facebook and also other videos that I've seen, child, one young lady said that she was introduced by Martel personally to Belinda Sanders as this is my girlfriend or my new girlfriend. So, child, I guess the young lady in the Facebook group said Martel, I don't know, and her were friends on a level, whatever that was. He invited her to his coat drive, and I think this is like in December 2021. And he also invited her to the book signing. Remember the whole plane ride to Canada, right? Where he was trying to manipulate Mel to bring the kids when it was his damn weekend because he was trying to make it look bad. But saying all that to say, he done talked this woman into getting a $250,000 loan or whatever to buy some land or to buy a house or whatever the hell. Shout out to Queen Sheba. Is he even allowed to buy property? Is he still in bankruptcy mode? I don't know if it's been discharged. I'm not for certain. But it seems like he's trying to swindle women, honey. He is trying to goop the cheering, honey. He is trying to swindle the girls and use and manipulate them for their coin, putting shit in their name. That remind you of some old broke-ass nigga when you were young. Can you put this car in your name? Hell no. The hell I look like? I ain't your mammy, Negro. I didn't have you. You better ask your mama. But anyway, that's just low down. How you go from millionaire status, being a power couple, to a beautiful woman? You know, you guys had the whole world in front of you. The world was your oyster, and it still is hers because now that she's shed that albatross from around her neck, as in you, Martiana, busted down. Melody is rising like a phoenix. Meanwhile, your ass, you're seeping to the bottom of the ocean with karmic debt is what's happening to you. But anyway, saying all of that to say, he done talked this woman into supposedly getting this loan, either for land, a piece of property, or whatever. And I don't know if they're doing some slick or shady, allegedly, just from what I'm hearing from the streets, to where maybe they're doing maybe a quick claim deed or transferring the property into maybe an LLC so it won't be in his name, but whatever. I wouldn't sign shit for him, okay? I would not go into debt for that Negro. I don't care if that was my husband. I would not do it. So let me bring this around full circle. So this video is more so about Sheree. So what he ain't gonna do is get any coins out of her. Now, the most he gonna get from Sheree Whitfield is an agreement to give you a kiss on the cheek and a couple hugs and me walking around a goddamn convention or a damn party with you looking silly as you don't acknowledge me. Remember, he had his upscale launch party and he ignoring her barely like she there. But anyway, Sheree may agree to that so she can keep her damn contract to stay on ROA, the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She'll fake a relationship, but I guess, honey, I'll be damned if she gonna give a Negro a coin because girlfriend herself is looking to be a cat woman, okay? All right, so I'm about to show this clip, and it's something that I caught. I was like, oh, Sheree, is that what we doing? Did you kind of jive like tell on yourself? Y'all be the judge, and I'm going to kind of break it down a little bit, like a fraction, at least halfway, a little bit. Well, let's get into it.
Sheree's jealous of me. I know that for a fact. I got a phone call from Tyrone about this opportunity to make money.
All right, now stay right there. She says she got a phone call from Tyrone in Philly for an opportunity to make money. Now, would that be the same Tyrone that got locked up for a white-collar crime, her jailbird boo? But let's continue.
I reached out to you, asked you, were you available on the date, and what your rate was. You said you were available. I called Tyrone. He said, okay, cool. Later on that day, I started getting phone calls saying that you've been calling Tyrone, saying that I could have got your rate for way cheaper and took the money off the top and da-da-da. Not him personally, you.
Me, Nene.
Nene.
Okay.
And to me, that was very shitty. Black women, this is the problem. Nobody wants to see nobody succeed. Everybody's always trying to claw and
We don't have to do that.
Yeah, let's do this.
We don't have to do that. Let me just tell you this.
let's do this.
I don't care who you call. To me, there was no reason for her to be like, let me pick up the phone and call Tyrone. I mean, I'm sitting here talking to you. You can call whoever you want to call.
But you're saying you can touch them.
I think you better call Tyrone.
So before Sheree calls Tyrone, let's kind of break it down a little bit and talk about it. Now, Tyrone Gilliams, he's an ex-basketball player and had been for years. Now, he served 8 years in prison on wire fraud charges and was released early in 2021 over C-19 panorama concerns. Now, as we know, if you watch The Real Housewives of Atlanta, he lived in a halfway house in Philadelphia. And remember, Sheree tried to reunite with him, okay? But let's kind of talk about why he was locked up a little deeper. So when I look elsewhere, it says that Tyrone is a Philadelphia native, as we know. He went to Penn State as well. And according to TMZ, he was released from prison in Kentucky over the C-19 concerns, okay? Now here it says that he had been sentenced to 10 years in prison, again, for wire fraud, a white-collar crime. He and his lawyer were both convicted of stealing more than $5 million from investors, including a Ponzi scheme involving purported investment in U.S. Treasury strips, according to Reuters. Now, Tyrone Gilliams, as they call him, he portrayed himself to be a philanthropist. He was charged with misappropriating much of the investors' funds for personal gain, including luxury cars, jewelry, travel, and the like. Now, the incarceration at first caused the couple to break up, he and Sheree, but as we know, if you watch Roa, they reportedly got back together in 2016, and she started visiting him in prison. I say she was doing it for a storyline. But for real, he was a handsome guy, especially when he was a little younger, and seeing as though he played basketball. I don't know if he played for the NBA or did he play overseas, but he went to Penn State, which is a reputable school for basketball. I could see why Sheree liked him, but the moment that he got caught up in some bullshit, yeah, you got to distance yourself from that. Don't nobody want to be associated with that. But in a little bit, I'm going to talk about how does she decorate Chateau Sheree, honey? Because girlfriend's house is gorgeous. It is opulent, okay? It is luxurious. And my spidey senses tell me a thing or two, but let's kind of listen to the rest of the phone call, and then we're going to look at Sheree's gorgeous house. Then I'm going to give a little bit more commentary. Let's get into it a little further.
Tyrone. Hey, Sheree. I'm calling, I'm sitting here with Nene.
Right.
I'm calling about what happened in Philly.
If that's the case, let's just call down on the phone. He never spoke to me. He spoke
Hello?
to Diana.
Okay, did you ever speak to Nene?
You spoke to Nene on booking. Diana. Sheree has Tyrone on speaker, and I have you on speaker.
Nene picks up her phone and calls Diana. Now it's a four-way. I can barely hear what Diana's saying. Why don't you hear this businessman? Why don't you hear him out? Because you don't want to hear the truth.
They said that they was still booked.
Nene, did you speak to Nene, Tyrone? You spoke directly to Diana and not to me ever.
Did you speak to Nene directly?
He spoke to Diana.
Can he talk?
She talked to me, she talked to my manager, she spoke to all of us.
He did not speak directly to me dealing with money, period. I don't have to lie to you. You chose to believe him over me, and that's cool with me. I don't really care. I don't really care. What you don't understand is, while you were running your mouth with him, I was running to the bank, sweetie, and depositing a Trump check. Honey, Donald Trump.
Yeah, the one you
Listen to him, rich. I don't need anything from you. You are the one that's losing houses and cars. Honey, you are the one losing houses. I am very rich.
You need to get your motherfucking teeth come out that.
Get done. Get done. Get done. Get done.
When you had the rotten teeth.
If I don't go, picking Sheree up off the floor. Hey, Carl. Your car was snowing, darling. Your first car, it was repoed. Hello? Your first car was repoed. It's this bitch out of her motherfucking mind.
Ooh, child, that was a whole lot. But did y'all catch all that? So, what type of scheme or what type of money were they trying to make with Mr. Tyrone, seeing as though he had fraudulent dealings that landed his ass in jail for white collar crimes? Okay. I don't know. They were both trying to partner with him, trying to catch a coin. Now, I wonder what type of money making opportunity was that. Child, let me tell it, and I've always thought this, that she decorated Chateau Sheree with some of the money that dude, talking about Tyrone, some of the money that he embezzled or swindled people out of. I think Sheree got a little cut of it because that goddamn house is opulent, honey. It is extravagant. We're going to take a little couple, 2, 3 looks at it before we go. But yeah, I've always thought that. And also, allegedly, they say that Sheree's deed to her home, Chateau Sheree, is in her mom's name, which I can believe it because they say that she owes half of Atlanta. She owes creditors and contractors and people who worked on her house, and God knows who else she may owe. By her putting the home in her mom's name, they can't come after Sheree directly. Now, I don't know whose name is on the mortgage, probably Sheree's, because I'm sure her mama ain't paying the mortgage. But by just having her mama name on the deed, technically they can't come after Sheree. She's a slick one, ain't she? She's a slick old biddy. Yes, she is. She ain't long in the tooth for nothing, child. Honey, girlfriend done learned a thing or two along the way, but child, crime just don't pay. It just don't, Sheree. But she lucky she didn't get caught up. I don't know how involved she was in it, and maybe he spared her. I don't know what type of money laundering he did, he and his attorney, allegedly, even though it's there to see, that's why he got locked up. But bringing this back full circle to Martel, honey, Sheree is looking to be a kept woman. She's a scheming scammer, somebody herself, allegedly. Child, the scammer is not going to get out scammed. So that's why they are in partnership, because we know that Martel is old scheming somebody. He will live off of a woman in a heartbeat, in anybody, hell, a man too. Let me tell it, hint, hint, Carlos, live off anybody who's willing to take care of his old broke, dusty ass child. Well, let's look at a couple pictures of a little bit of footage of the house. But y'all drop down in the commentary and tell me what y'all think. What type of money-making opportunity did Mr. Tyrone have for Sheree and Nene? Child, girlfriend lucky she came out unscathed and just owing creditors. Child, she been scheming and scamming for a long time, allegedly. She better make that man mad before he sing like a damn canary, because I don't know if the statutes of limitation has gone by. But hey, when it comes to Uncle Sam and IRS, child, they be wanting their money, honey.
Hey guys, I'm Sheree Whitfield, and welcome to my home in Atlanta. I finally finished Chateau Sheree about a year and a half ago, and I can honestly say, from top to bottom, it is my dream home, and I can't wait to show you around. Come on. I love to entertain, so I wanted a wow factor the moment people walk through the door. I think that what makes a luxury home so great is paying attention to detail. Here in the foyer, you'll notice that detail from the marble porcelain floors all the way up to the mother-of-pearl domed ceiling. Details like that establish the glamorous tone that I wanted throughout the home. Now, if you're familiar with The Housewives, you know I built this house from the ground up to my exact specifications. And because I love to have guests over, it was important to me that the place had an easy open flow from room to room. This is the dining area that sits off of the foyer. It's framed by these 3 custom columns. I had them painted in a faux marble finish to complement the floors. I love texture, and you'll notice that throughout the home. In here, I use a silk watermark wall covering to give the room its own feel. The furniture is designed by Christopher Guy, and it has a classic yet modern feel. I love how the back of the chairs looks like a lady crossing her legs. The mirror is the perfect focal point. It's sexy, it's glamorous, and it reminds me of a diamond. I love it because every angle has a different reflection. Plus, it's just practical to check yourself out before you leave. And for a bit of symmetry, it's framed by these beautiful sconces. And what formal dining room would be complete without a Swarovski crystal chandelier? Not this one. This is the great room. I love curved walls and arched windows. And this is the place where I got to indulge that love. And I tell you, no one told me curved walls and arched windows were more expensive, way more expensive. But now I know. It's got almost 30-foot ceilings and a circular crystal chandelier that hangs above the room like a halo. The fireplace is covered with a kind of oxidized brick wallpaper, and I love how it reflects the light in subtle ways. The furniture, again, is Christopher Guy. It's sexy, it's feminine, and it kind of mimics the curves and architecture in this room. There's textures in the fabrics and in the pillows. There's also a lookout on the second floor that you can check out what's going on down here. And the kids use it to scream down when they're too lazy to come downstairs. Overall, the great room is a showstopper, and that was my intention. But let me show you the room where everyone stops first. The kitchen. While kitchens are typically the most popular place in any home, I wanted my kitchen to be just as fab and glam as the rest of my home. I couldn't resist. I wanted an old Hollywood feel, but because it is the most popular place, I wanted it to be practical and still comfortable. It has a classic layout with some classic elements, like this marble island and this long butcher's block counter. But there's little moments of flair that make it unique. For example, just look at this backsplash. I'm obsessed. Every space needs to have a memorable moment, and the backsplash does it for me. A comfortable lounge space and dining nook round out the kitchen. And just when you thought we were done, there's one more place that you have to see. This is my fab basement. It's like nothing you've ever seen before. Hey!
Putting some finishing touches in here.
This is my designer, Mikkel Welch, and lucky for you, he's going to show you around. So I'll catch you guys later, and I'll be back.
Sounds good. And you guys are in for a special treat because we have a ton to cover. So this is a really special project for me. I actually got this phone call from Steve Harvey to help a friend of his out, and it ended up being Sheree Whitfield of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. The bar was set really high, so I can't wait for you guys to see what I've done. So this is the first area that you see when you come downstairs into Sheree's basement. I wanted an area where Sheree and her girlfriends could just come and just relax and chill. So when I was beginning to design the space, obviously I'm working with an oval room. So I decided to go with an arc-shaped sectional. So for the color scheme, I decided to go with very muted tones of gray and beige and brown. But the thing with that is, when you use such muted tones, you really got to bring it, with your textures. I've layered velvet on top of woven material. In this space, I've used a lot of brass. I've used a lot of stainless steel. So it's all about weaving all of those different elements together to really make it one cohesive look. So the first time I met Sheree, she was having a huge party. So as far-fetched as it sounds, I told Sheree, I think we need to give you your own VIP nightclub in your basement. And that's exactly what we did. So of course, we all know every nightclub has to have an amazing bar. And that's exactly where I started in Sheree's basement. I love the fact that, we created this whole modern, clean waterfall design. It just really ties in, nicely with all of the modern elements that we have in the space. For her stools, I decided to go with brass stools that had been reupholstered with Tibetan wool. I mean, that's kind of luxe. Another thing that I love is the backsplash. I went with a hexagon mirrored backsplash. It's kind of girly, it's kind of whimsical, so when we have the disco ball going, it really looks good in this space. Now, my friend Sheree loves a good glass of Chardonnay, so I wanted to give her an awesome wine cellar. I did a whole custom design where I have marble that's backlit, and the best part is LED light, so I can change it to any color. So, contingent upon her mood, it could be pink or purple. I kind of call this the VIP lounge. Sheree's that girl who loves VIP. So I had this U-shaped sectional built. They can have conversations, keep drinking the cocktails. I've used a monochromatic palette, and I wanted that to kind of transition into this area as well. I put mirrors on every single wall in here just to open up that space. And Sheree, she loves a lot of glitz and glamour. So I've even given her this crocodile embossed wallpaper. I mean, that's pretty luxe. So after all the guests are gone, the dust is settled, sometimes Sheree just wants to sit down and watch television. So I created a home theater room for her. It has an amazing U-shaped sectional once again. The sectional was great, but what I love most about this space is the graphic carpet that I used.
Well, how did it go?
I mean, this is the Chateau. It sure beats the manor any day.
Absolutely.
I think people are going to absolutely love it. Like, we put a lot of work into this
It
place.
is. I mean, remember on the show when they snuck down in the basement?
I know. You have some shady girlfriend.
Some shady girlfriend.
Why did you take Candy down to the basement?
I was being shady.
You're being shady.
Yeah, sure was being Kenya. Is this the basement?
I don't even think we're supposed to be down here.
After all the digs that she has taken at my house, this lady is living in a war zone. Many more. Well, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed your glimpse into Chateau Sheree. And thank you guys for coming.
See you guys later.
Talking